CryptosRUs. I am George. In today's session, I want to talk about Cardano. It is going up to the moon right now. It's nearing $1, and people are wondering just what the hell is going on with it. Is it go more upwards, or is it ready to come down? Well, here's the thing. I've been thinking about it, looking at what's been going on in the space, what's coming for Cardano, and there are a few interesting things that happened recently. I think Cardano is going to head to $25. Yes, that's right, a 25x from where it is now by the end of the year. And in this video, I'm going to explain why I think it's going to go so high. And I think many of you guys that hold ADA and believe in Cardano, you'll be very, very, very pleased. Cardano is going to make a new generation of millionaires as it climbs up, just like all these other projects that is coming up in a big way. All right, so thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. 2 streams every day, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you don't miss out. Hit that notification bell. Follow me on Twitter and follow me on Facebook so you get notified no matter where you are, and you have no excuse not to show up. All right, let's get started. Let me turn the screen here. Let me see if I could do this. All right, here we go. So refresh. Look at BTC dominance. First of all, BTC dominance fell down below 61%. Kind of shows you how strong things are. Bitcoin is falling down a little bit, right below $45,000. And just so you guys know, I checked. It's not F2 pool right now, right? It could be because they're still trying to dump and sell this huge sell, a 2,700 Bitcoin sell. And interesting enough, I had a miner, one of the miners that is on F2 pool, that emailed me and said, hey, George, I don't think this is dumping. I think it's just the miners that's trying to take a profit. And he mistaked. He was thinking this 2,700 was for the entire day. No, that's in a single hour. That's how much outflowed. Now, after that, things have been pretty stable, but there's still something fishy going on. So that's why Bitcoin is showing a bit weakness, but overall still holding at 45,000. Not a big deal, but you know what is a big deal? A lot of altcoins, including Cardano, that has pumped up over 100%. 100% within a week. Up 18%, 19% today. It did fall down a little bit, right? And it's nearing its previous high. Yeah, Cardano was this high back in 2018 for people that didn't know. It went from like nothing to the moon and then went back down to nothing, and now it's coming back to the moon, right? But I don't think it's going to stop at the moon. It's going to keep going and go to Mars and beyond. All right, so besides altcoins overall being very strong, Cardano is definitely showing more strength than others. So that's why a lot of people, new people that's tuning in, they have no idea what Cardano is. They have no idea why it's going up, why it was created, and all that stuff. So I'm going to give a brief history lesson for people that are new. And then I'm going to explain what's been happening recently, why it's been shooting up over this past week, and why I think it's going to go to $25, right? So get your drinks ready, buckle up, and let's get started. All right, first of all, you can't talk about Cardano without talking about Ethereum, okay? Ethereum, the big daddy at 200 billion. When it came out in 2016, it was created by four founders: Charles Hoskinson, Vitalik Buterin, Joseph Lublin, and Gavin Wood. And there may be one other. I think there is one other. The guy who started Zappo, I forgot his name. So yeah, it's probably 5 members. Okay. And Ethereum was the very first that introduced smart contracts. So it changed the landscape. Before Ethereum, everything else was basically a clone of Bitcoin. It didn't matter what things were, Dogecoin, Litecoin, Feathercoin, all these coins, they were all basically copies of Bitcoin, with the exception of Ripple and Stellar. They were a little bit different, but overall everything else was a clone. And they really had no purpose other than being a currency. Well, Ethereum came out and changed all that, right? The problem is Ethereum had a pretty successful ICO, and then they started a DAO. And that DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organization, got hacked. Yes, it got hacked. There was a ton of Ethereum that was locked in, and it was mainly, the purpose was to basically fund new projects that was going to come on top of Ethereum. It was a really good idea. I believe Ethereum was the ones that actually created this concept of a DAO. The problem is it got hacked, and people didn't know what to do. Well, this is crypto. Things are supposed to be decentralized, right? So here's the problem. You have a ton of people that donated basically their ETH, and now they want it back. They don't want to hear that it was just hacked. So the team had a very difficult choice to make, whether or not to lock out the attacker and refund the funds, basically the ETH, or they were just going to leave it alone. Well, you know what? That's how Ethereum Classic and Ethereum came to be. Because there was one side that thought that they should have left things alone, right? And Charles Hoskinson believed that was the way because this is a decentralized blockchain and DAO and everything. But unfortunately, Ethereum didn't do that. So they locked out the DAO attacker. They basically recovered the funds, and that's why now you have Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. Well, Charles Hoskinson left Ethereum shortly afterwards because he thought it was the wrong move. He did not like that move one bit. So what did he do? Well, he started IOHK, which is a development firm out of Japan, I believe. So the whole purpose of this firm is to develop new blockchain technologies and support it and focus. And one of the projects he started working on is Cardano. And that is why he's so integral to the project. Basically, he is the founder, but he's not the sole person that is responsible. Cardano was created to be the most decentralized, blockchain ever. And I'm going to explain why it's even more decentralized than most other projects. But anyways, so that's how Cardano came to be. Because of Ethereum, because of this DAO hack, right? And he disagreed. And that's why he still likes Ethereum Classic. There are times when Ethereum Classic, remember all those 51% attacks? He offered to help. He wants to help them because ultimately that's his first baby, Ethereum Classic, not actually Ethereum at this point. But they seem to have separated ways recently. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people always ask me, why is Cardano not listed on Coinbase? You figure a project this big, this popular, should be on Coinbase. And here's the reason why it's not. Because they did have an ICO about $62 million, but this was conducted only in Japan. So people don't know what to think of that. I think Coinbase, specifically their lawyers, don't know how to think about that. If they do list them, is there going to be problems? Is the SEC or whoever's going to go after them because they're security? We don't know, right? That's the reason why Cardano is not listed on Coinbase yet. That's why Coinbase keeps listing all these new projects, but they keep missing out on Cardano. So that's the reason why I think they have not been listed. And early on, because they had this ICO in Japan, and I believe IOHK was located in Japan at one point in time, or maybe they still are. I'm not sure. I know Charles is not in Japan right now. They were labeled as the Cardano, the Japanese Ethereum. That's what they were labeled as early on. This is back in 2018, and now no one calls them that. No one calls them that at all. They don't call them the Japanese Ethereum, but early on, that's what they were known for. Okay, so I mentioned about decentralization. Why are they more decentralized than every other project? Well, Charles has this idea that decentralization has to start from the top bottom, not only from where the direction of the project, but also who's actually controlling it. You know how there's certain projects like Charlie, I dumped my bags on you, Lee. He's like the go-to guy for Litecoin, right? Whatever he says goes. And it was pretty much the same thing with EOS and Block One with Dan Liermeier and Brock Pierce. And there's several other projects. Neo is basically controlled by, I forgot his, Dongfei. Yeah, so there's a lot of projects, even though they're somewhat decentralized, there's a main figure that basically dictates what's going on. And Charles didn't want to do that for Cardano. So he split up into three governing bodies. So there's the Cardano Foundation, there's IOHK, which is him, and then there's another one, Embargo. So even from a foundational standpoint, support perspective, it's split into three. But ultimately, this is going to be released to the people. That's going to be the final stage. But he really planned it out. And Cardano is really a scientific project. They didn't just write a white paper and just said, okay, we're going to go and do this. So they had a lot of really, really smart people that really enjoy looking at white papers and coming up with stuff to review it, scientifically reviewed, and then they decide to implement going forward. So these are some of the differences, right, for Cardano versus everything else. Now, I forgot. Yeah. So one of the things he keeps talking about is decentralization, like I said, right? But I'm going to get to that a little bit. Now, fast forward to today. Why is it going up, right? Well, Cardano is not done yet. So contrary to popular belief that it is done, it's operational, has dApps, no, it doesn't have any of that. So if you're new to the space, you think Cardano is going up to the moon, it must have some traction. No, it doesn't have any of that right now. It's an incomplete project, although there is a mainnet that's up and there is a testnet that's up, but it's not fully complete. So this has been a work in progress for the last 3 years and going on to year 4. So they had to build a lot of things. Shelly was the last stage that they completed, which is a big thing, basically moving Cardano to a true proof of stake. Now, what they're working on is Goguen, and that is introducing smart contracts and also native tokenization, where you could come up with native tokens that reside on the blockchain. That is coming up in a very near future, right? So that was implemented on testnet already, and the goal is to implement Goguen by the end of this month. Sometime, I heard like 22nd, 23rd, something like that. So that is coming up in very short order in a couple weeks. Afterwards, they're going to work on scaling, which introduces the concept of side chains. And many other projects have done that now, that you could have multiple side chains that communicates with the main chain, and each side chain could scale up to like 1,000 transactions per second, if not more. So you think about it, you could have 1 million side chains for anything and basically have as much throughput as you want, right? So another upgrade over, say, something Ethereum is that it should be able to scale massively, not just like 15 transactions per second like Ethereum right now. We're talking about thousands, tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of transactions per second. So that's coming after Goguen is implemented, and after that, it's going to be governance, where basically Charles, IOHK, Embargo, Cardano Foundation, they're going to try to make it and turn it to the people. The treasury, the decision making is all being given to the stakeholders, and they decide what they want to do with the project, where it's going to go, and stuff like that. They're trying to, Charles, like I said, one of the main things is he wants to make Cardano into the most decentralized project ever created, basically. The end result, I don't know. If you have that much decentralization, whether or not that's good, we will have to see. But this is what's coming up, right? Now, this is not the main driver of why the price has been going up, skyrocketing for the last week. Of course, a lot of people are very excited. A lot of people believe in Charles. Charles is one of those guys that, despite the fact he has not finished his project yet, still has the most respect in terms of a leader that I have seen in the space, right? You think about like Charlie Lee, and you think about like Justin, I forgot his last name. Justin, how can I forget his last name? I forgot his last name from Tron. You guys know what I'm talking about. And all these other leaders, they basically, there's a lot of people that bash him for like some faults or unfinished projects or shenanigans or something, right? Justin Sun, yes, thank you. I mean, you think about it, there's a lot of leaders that gets called out, but Charles doesn't for some reason, because he gives continuous updates. He seems to to be telling the truth. He's not hyping anything. He's just plainly giving you the facts, and people really respect him for it. So that has carried Cardano really, really, really far. So you have a large user base, a large following. They believe this project is going to come to a conclusion before Ethereum 2.0 comes out and that it has a chance to overthrow Ethereum in the future and basically kick Vitalik out the door, right? But besides just enthusiasm, there's a couple things here that's helping it also. Number one, you have a lot of derivatives. Actually, this is the main reason. You have not besides that. Number one, Grayscale. Grayscale is filing for new trust, and Cardano is one of those projects that will be getting a trust. Now, whether or not this really pumps them up, I don't know, because Grayscale has a lot of trust for a lot of other projects that really have not exploded, right? But obviously, Bitcoin trust, Ethereum trust has been going up to the moon. A lot of Cardano fans think that Cardano trust will see a big influx of money coming in. So that is number one. That should be coming right around the corner, right? Number two is what I meant to say is derivatives. You have a lot of exchanges now that's coming out with derivatives based on Cardano, perpetual swaps, futures, leverage, right? And as something gets bullish, guess what happens? People utilize leverage and cause more FOMO and cause it to go up, right? So look at this. Bitfinex just introduced one. This was only 7 days ago. Now users will be able to do 100x Cardano perpetual swaps, right? So think about it. If you thought the amount of money required to pump up Cardano was insane, yeah, that's true, because you have leverage now. People that are very, 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 very greedy, they could utilize 100x leverage and push Cardano up. Not only that, not Bitfinex, I just found 2 examples, but even Binance. Binance kicked off something too, right? So, well, this one's a little bit different. Binance already has it, but here's staking. This also helps Cardano. So there was another article I accidentally closed. But Bitfinex is not the only one with derivatives. A lot of other exchanges do. But also, this is a good thing where you do have native staking on an exchange. So it gives people another reason to actually keep their Cardano, right? So this is the reason why Cardano has been going up to the moon. There's a lot of people that believe in a project. Goguen is about to be complete, right? And you have Grayscale, FOMO, and you have derivatives kicking in, and you have some of the biggest changes that is offering staking. So those are a lot of reasons, 5 reasons why Cardano keeps going up and up and up. Now, here's the thing. Why do I think it's going to go to $25 when in fact it's not even at $1, but I'm just rounding up to $1, okay? So here's how I'm doing my Asian math here. So look at Cardano's chart. Back in the day, in 2018, they were actually a little bit higher than where they were right now. So if you zoom in and you look at it, at one point in time, they were at $32 billion. And it could have been higher, and then this didn't capture it. So they were actually higher than they were. They were actually higher before than they are now, okay? So that's actually pretty amazing. So had you bought at that peak point, you would still be down today. So that's kind of amazing to think. But you could see, obviously, within the last month or so, it has been just skyrocketing to the moon, right? Okay, so here's the thing. You look at Cardano, and it's sitting at, I'm just going to round up to 30 billion. I know it's not there, but I'm just going to round up, easy math, right? And if you look at it compared to, say, Ethereum, it's way less. It used to be 10x, now it's more like 8x or so. But here's the thing. So I looked at the previous year, how much growth there has been for Cardano. 1 year span, Bitcoin went up 345%. Ethereum went up 664%, double of Bitcoin. But guess what? Cardano went up 1,400%. So for those of you guys that has been dollar cost averaging and buying the dips, you have been rewarded handsomely with 1,400% returns. That is pretty good. Pretty darn good, right? So here's my thinking, right? So roughly rounding up, Cardano had a 5x performance versus Bitcoin over the last year. And that is very, very hard to do. A year ago, Bitcoin was like, 10,000, right? So think about the journey from 10,000 to 44,000. So that is a tremendous gain. But Cardano had 5 times the amount of gain than Bitcoin. So that's a big thing. Now, where do I see Bitcoin by the end of the year? There's a lot of predictions out there, right? I've shown you guys charts before. A lot of famous people have come out and said Bitcoin could be 300, 400, 500, $600,000, right? But I'm just going to do even numbers, do 10x. I'm just going to say Bitcoin is going to go up 10x to about $440,000 by the end of 2021. That's a pretty good number, 444,000. That's still less than gold's market cap, just so you know. But okay, let's just say it goes up 10x. But because Cardano's going up 5 times as fast, theoretically, you can argue that it would go up 50x. But I don't think it can sustain that. So I'm just going to say 25x. I'm just going to split it down the middle. If Bitcoin could go up to 10x, I could see how Cardano can go up 25x. That would move about 2.5 times faster. For something that is at 30 billion market cap, I think that's definitely doable. So, easy math. You take 25x, right? 25x times the 30 billion. What does that come out to be? Well, that comes out to be about $750 billion. And if you look at it, $750 billion, that's still less than the market cap of Bitcoin today. And if you look at, what's coming down the road by end of 2021, Ethereum will probably be over $1 trillion. So can it be at, say, number 3 at the end of the year, sitting at $25 with a $750 billion market cap? I think that's really realistic. I think that's actually really realistic. The way Bitcoin is moving, the way the market is moving, I could definitely see that happen over the course of 2021. So that's how I came to $25. And I'm just rounding up here. I'm assuming that Cardano's already around $1. It was very close. It was like 92 or 93 cents. It slid down a little bit. So I'm rounding up. So I think 25x from here is definitely doable. So a lot of people, wondering, is this the time to get in? Should I get in? Well, you know what? I think Cardano has a lot of room to grow. Now, with that said, should you just go all in right now, dump everything and go into Cardano? No, that's not what we should do. But if you've been thinking about adding Cardano to your portfolio or holding it longer, or maybe, just dollar cost averaging, I would say, yeah, do it. Do it over the long haul. Do it like how you do it with Bitcoin. You spread out your buys, dollar cost average, and hodl. Because had you done that for just the past year, you would have gained 1,400%. That's a lot, right? That's 14x basically what you made. So I think going forward is the same strategy. There's going to be a lot of dips, up and downs, right? There's going to be a lot of dips. But overall, the general trend is up and up and up. And I used to show this chart. I used to show, when I was streaming, when things were really weak, people kept asking me, why is Cardano not moving? Why is it so low? Why is it so weak? I drew this line probably a year ago. I'm like, Cardano, ever since it fell down, it had a problem breaking 10 cents, right? And I said, after 10 cents, that's when you got to notice, you got to hold it, because it's going to go much higher. That was the ultimate resistance for Cardano for such a long time. And even this point, right, later in 2020, it broke it, but it fell down a little bit. But now you could see it has gained crazy momentum from 10 cents all the way to 90 cents. Just that alone is 9x within a very, very short amount of time. We're talking about the end of November to now. That's 3 months. 3 months to go up almost 10x, right? That's pretty crazy. That shows you how strong it is. Now, if you're looking, for those of you guys that are technical people, and you're looking at specific buy points, if you look at Cardano right now, it is actually very, 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 very overbought. So that does, the indicators, your RSI is beyond high, stochastic RSI is beyond high, MACD is still going up, right? So if you're a technical person, you would say, well, this is a bad time to be buying Cardano. But it's been a bad time ever since it's been basically 40 cents, 50 cents, 60 cents, 70 cents, 80 cents, 90 cents. And it just keeps going up because here's the thing. When people buy and they keep buying and keep buying, it trumps all the indicators. It really does. The indicators could say overbought all day long. But if people continue to buy, especially with derivatives and stuff, it will keep going up. However, I do think there will probably be some kind of stalling period because right now you see it's just going up to the moon, right? So there'll probably be a time where it kind of does something like this. It doesn't have to fall, but it just needs to cool down. Now that could come at $1, it could come above, or it may have started already. But I do think you go see something like this where Cardano just takes a breather, just goes sideways, and just hovers there, kind of like Bitcoin before it starts its next leg up. I think right now could be that period, but it could be, you know, I tend to see these things at round numbers. So I think $1 could be that point. So for those of you that are technical guys, right, that could be coming around the corner. And if so, that's also good for you holders that is basically looking for good pickup points. That could be right around the corner too. So yeah, that's my spiel about Cardano going up to $25. I know a lot of you guys are very excited in hearing that. A lot of you guys are bag holders of ADA. You know what? It's definitely a special project. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of projects with a leader that has this much, that commands this much respect, right? With an unfinished project, it's very, very special. Also, to have a project to be one day to be completely decentralized from top bottom, that's very rare, although that's unproven right now. But still, it's a very, very interesting project. A very interesting project indeed. All right, so that is it. I'll turn it back to you guys. We could talk about Cardano, or we could look at some alts. If you guys, I showed you guys this before. If you're ever wondering where to buy something, click into something on CMC, click on the market tab, then you'll see where you can buy it. There's all the exchanges, basically every single exchange except Coinbase. Coinbase is like the really the only one that doesn't allow it because their lawyers just deem it to be too dangerous, I guess. But every single one basically allows you to buy it, and Voyager also allows you to buy it too. So that's how you could tell overall. Kevin Fish, who's the next company to buy BTC? Well, I answered that question yesterday, I believe. Yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. So check out my video from yesterday. Please, BCH? No. No, don't look at BCH. The graph. I've been mentioning graph for a few weeks now. Ever since someone introduced it to me, I looked at it. It's a really good project. It's a really good project. It's one that almost every project needs, kind of like Chainlink. So in that essence, it could blow up to like Chainlink. The only problem with it is it's the circuit supply is relatively low compared to max supply. That's the only thing that I found that's really a problem with it. But it helps project come up with APIs and data retrieval. So it's a good project. Good project. Chainlink. I don't know what's going on with Chainlink recently. They kind of just stalled out. They're a necessary project. Okay, Binance is down. You don't need to scream it out loud there. Chainlink is necessary for basically all projects. Oracle, the biggest and most decentralized and most robust Oracle system. So it's there. It's never going to go away. Now, is there anything exciting going on right now with Chainlink? No, nothing really. Because, I mean, everything they announce is like a new partnership. But that new partnership is basically a new company or new project that is just utilizing their Oracle setup. So it's not really a partnership, but they're getting used quite a bit. Fender, I appreciate that. So, yeah. If you had $1,000, what coin would you buy long term? If I had $1,000, I can only buy one long term. It'd be Bitcoin. Easy, easy. Least risk, and very, very, if not the highest potential. So yes, easy. Bitcoin. Mike says, I missed African countries ready to use Cardano blockchain as their currency. That's pretty good, except it needs to be done first. So that probably won't be for a while. BCH is a contentious fork of Bitcoin. Why would you buy something that no one uses and basically it's a big money grab? So why would you do that? Why would you do that? Get off of BCH. What about Icon? I have not heard anything about Icon for the longest time. I don't know if they're the dominant South Korean company anymore. And I apologize. I keep saying company. They're projects. They were the dominant project, trying to digitize everything with the digital ID system and stuff. I don't know if they're still doing that. There's so many projects out of South Korea now. So they kind of just lost their way. Maybe they're still executing, but I don't hear anything about them recently. I think Solana is a really good one. I really like Solana. They're competitive, competitive blockchain to Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot, and they're up and running, 50,000 transactions per second. You have some DeFi plays that's moving up. So Solana is actually really good. I don't know about Orion. I don't have an opinion about Orion. Thoughts on VeChain? Tesla's a good buy. Tesla's always a good buy. VeChain is fine. You just gotta wait until China opens up. VeChain has pumped up a little bit last few days. I'm glad to see it. It's its turn. But you know what? We just gotta wait China to go open up their doors and open up basic crypto trading and crypto buying, and then it should really fly. Zcash. Zcash. I'm not a fan of privacy coins. They're all gonna be delisted one after another, at least in the U.S. So it's gonna make it really, really, really hard for anyone to obtain it. So, not a fan of privacy coins. John, I appreciate that. I really do. I don't say this enough, but smash up the likes, guys. Smash up the likes and subscribe to the channel if you are new, so you don't miss out on any of my content. And if you want to learn more about altcoins, get some exclusive content, then check out my Patreon page. What's up with Cardano? This whole stream was about Cardano. Scroll back to the front and you'll see. Which altcoins do you personally own? I own a lot of these. In fact, I'll just disclose, I don't own any Cardano. I don't own any Cardano, in fact. So I missed out on this train. But I do think it is a very, very promising project that will go very far. That'll go very far later this year. $25 super chat and another dollar one. EPAN? I have no idea what that is. Okay. Basically, no volume, no traction. All-in-one payment solution. Time until pre-sale. I guess the pre-sale is over and they never closed this. Mike, I'm assuming that you work for this project. That's why you want me to look at it. Payments, yield farming, staking, all in one app, basically. The website is well designed, but there's a lot of competition for this space. Tron, I don't know what's going on with Tron. I don't think there's anything going on with Tron right now. Magical Magical Mediation Mantra asks, hey, can you predict the price by 2021 end for Cardano? Did you not see the title of this video? Come on, bro. What do you think this video is about? Do you not see the title of this video? When does the bull run usually end? It usually ends when you start buying heavily. That's when it usually ends. No, I'm just kidding. The bull run usually ends basically a year after the last year of 4-year cycle, which is 2021. But in my opinion, this cycle may never end. We could be in a super cycle that basically will continue on forever because institutions are FOMOing into Bitcoin. And once they FOMO into Bitcoin, they're not going to let go. They're going to keep it in the reserves. So this cycle may never end. I mean, honestly, it's I guess it's mind-boggling to think. And when I say may never end, I mean from the fact that there is going to be a gigantic dump. Now, the Bitcoin still has 4-year cycle because of the halving event that happens every 4 years. But I think after this one, there's not going to be a massive dump, just like all the other ones that we have seen. Sharad asks, thoughts on nulls? You know what? I just tweeted out a video that I did before about nulls deep. They seem to be doing pretty good as of late. Pumped up a little bit today. We'll see if it can hold. They do have a lot of projects. A lot of projects coming on, utilizing their SEO system. But they haven't caught any traction because they're just really, really low. And people are not paying attention to it yet. But hopefully they do. When they do, they'll realize it's a fantastic project. Thunder now, appreciate it. Check out swipe chart is pumping and 8x to BTC value. Okay, that doesn't mean that it's good just because the project get pumped up all the time. So I don't get your point. Okay, it's up 20% today. If you want me to look at if it's overbought, oversold, I mean, it is in the overbought territory. On a day chart, it is very, very overbought right now. And 4 hour it's like it's overbought too. But overall, they seem to be doing good. They're a Binance project. Binance bought them out. Right now, Binance really can do no wrong. Everything that Binance has is doing really, really well, to be honest. And that's why BNB is pumping. That's why everything is just moving up. Anything that's on Binance chain is moving up. So I've been talking a lot about Binance projects recently during my videos here in Patreon. So you guys got to look at that. John, I'm sorry. I missed your super chat. I don't know what it is. Rich buddy. Yes. You could buy a Model 3 for $38,000 using your Cardano profits or BTC profits. There's just so many super chats. I have no idea what's going on anymore. There's going to be a new rule. If you don't super chat me at least $100, I'm not going to look at it. That's the new rule. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I got to scroll down, though. Mike B has a huge one. Love your channel. My family laughed at me when I bought so much ADA at 5 cents in 2019. Well, now they go up every day more than my... Wait. Well, they go up now every day more than my original purchase. Should I have bought $1 million? Well, congratulations. A lot of people did. A lot of people felt foolish buying so much ADA before because you know what? For the longest time, it did not go up. And quite honestly, that's why I said I don't own any ADA for the same reason. Because I just felt like it was not moving. It was never completing. But now, you can see that obviously, where was the chart I had? Is it this one? Oh, shoot, I closed it. I forgot which one I had. But, you know, for the longest time, it couldn't break 10 cents. So that's the one. That's the big deal. And afterwards, it just shot up to the moon. So congratulations. Space Boy, $5. Thank you. JS Chunk. Is that a real project? It is actually a real project, Chunk. What? I don't know. Okay. I'm not even gonna look at that, man. That's probably like so small, so new. I don't want to even look at it, but I appreciate the super chat. That name just sounds racist. Space Boy, another one. Thank you. John. Okay. Sorry I missed it. So happy birthday, Kathy. Weren't you the one that super chatted me the other day saying the same thing, or that was someone else? But Kathy, have a good one. And I don't know how you feel about your husband watching me all the time. Probably watches me more than you. So I don't know how you feel about that. I have that problem. A lot of people tell me that their wives or girlfriends get jealous because they watch me more than them. So that's honest. That's the truth. Brian Lynn. Wait, I think I missed one. Here. Ben, ISK 1500. I don't know what that denomination that is, but that's probably pretty big. Thoughts on running a Theta gardening node? I think Theta is awesome, and running a gardening node is probably very, very good. I don't know the staking rewards with that, but that's a really good way to make money. And also, pretty soon, you can upgrade your Guardian node, I think. No, Edge node. You can run a Guardian node and Edge node, and pretty soon, with their new upgrade, you could stake your T-Fuel to upgrade your Edge nodes too. But overall, I think Theta is a good project. It's a good project. Thank you for bringing cake to the table. May 300% hold vet catches up. I'm glad you picked up that tip because you know what? People laughed at Pancake Swap. I said don't ignore it, and it's been going up to the moon. Where's Pancake Swap? Here we go. Up 182% and keeps climbing the charts. It's a AMM and yield farming project that's on Binance chain that has no congestion. So this could go well over $1 billion. And there's a few other ones that has come out similar on Binance chain too that I brought up in Patreon. So I think those will also go up quite a lot too. Rock, hey, thank you. Appreciate that super chat. Thunder, another super chat. Appreciate it. Could look at Beam. I have not heard anyone ask me about Beam for a long time. I don't know what is going on with them. They're for Mimblewimble, right? Yeah. So confidential. So they're like them and Grin, they were in, Mimblewimble. Basically, Beam was more legit. They were trying to help companies to get involved. Grin was like more open source, but either one doesn't seem like they're doing well at all. Confidential stuff, transaction just doesn't do very well. I mean, there's just a lot of scrutiny over privacy, hiding your transactions because the IRS and everyone else wants to track you. Man, I'm getting some huge super chats. Can you look at AMP? I've looked at it before. So they're part of Flexa, and they're basically a new way for instant transactions utilizing a payment app. So kind of interesting, but they're limited. They're on Gemini for some reason. And yeah, so I'm neutral on them. I don't know how much traction the app has, so can't really comment on it. But yeah. Mike B, $50 super chat. Wow. So nice, never call you live. I want to pump my project, BDC. What do you know about it? Don't worry about BDC. BDC is just fine. Bitcoin is just fine. Yeah, climbed up, back up to 44,800. Right now, it doesn't seem like it's F2 pool, right? So Bitcoin is doing its thing, taking a break. It's fine. Tesla, that changed the game. Tesla's entrance is going to cause an influx of companies that's going to be buying Bitcoin. So, Mike B, you're all good. No worries. Chong anime NFTs are legendary. Really? Anime NFTs? I know NFTs are really getting hot. Really, really, really hot. And you know what? Maybe. I hate that name, though. I hate that name. I can't stand it. All right. I think that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much it. Reef. People keep asking about Reef. Reef is like trying to become Uniswap and Aave together on one project, and they're on Polkadot. That's what Reef is. So they're like a all-in-one DeFi, and oh, I forgot, and also they're a liquidity aggregator. So basically, if you're trying to trade, they'll pull liquidity from centralized exchanges, decentralized exchanges, and they're pretty much trying to become like an all-in-one kind of project for everything. So I mean, it sounds interesting, but I don't know if that's actually going to be that interesting once it's done. But a lot of people are talking about it. It's not fully done yet. So, all right, guys, that is it. That is it. You know, the whole stream was really about Cardano. Why I think it's going to go to $25. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Gave you a little history lesson and also did some Asian math, and Asian math is never wrong. So it's going to go up to $25, guys, by the end of the year. But just keep in mind, 60% of the time, I'm right all the time. All right? So thanks for tuning in. Smash up the like, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned to my video tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I missed the super chat, but Burger Swap, I looked at them. I don't really like them. All right. Take care, guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.